Hi, this is my September book haul. It's a bit of an eclectic combo this month, but I think it will be interesting. I don't know if I can call this a book, it's a journal, but you might remember that a while ago there was a Kickstarter for something called The Good Journal. It basically follows the success of The Good Immigrant, which was a collection of stories and essays by British writers of colour, and now this is a journal that is kind of the follow-up, and I joined in with the Kickstarter, and so this arrived in the mail recently. It says The Good Journal on the front in lots of different ways, then it has the names of the different contributors on the back. It says, writers of colour have been traditionally marginalised in British publishing, and in recent years there has been some great works by writers on race and immigration. As we toured The Good Immigrant, I met so many writers who wanted to contribute to a future issue, but felt they didn't want to write about race or immigration. Would you accept sci-fi, comedy, poetry? And so the journal was born. Then I've got a bit of a poetry mashup. I was sent this by a publisher from the US. It is called Date and Time by Phil K. And so the publisher is Button Poetry, also the name of that YouTube channel that features a lot of great spoken word poetry. I think the topics of this are memory and experience, love and loss. And then my friend Jen Campbell, whose YouTube channel I'll put in the description in case you don't know her yet, was cleaning out her poetry collection. She was asking if people maybe wanted some of them, and I said yes please. So let me quickly show you four that she sent my way. Number one is Carol Ann Duffy, Selected Poems. Everyone Knows I Am a Haunting, which looks like that. This one I'm probably the most intrigued by. As Slow as Possible, which looks like that. And The Displaced Children of Displaced Children, which is the winner of the Sexton Prize for Poetry in 2017. This one has notes in it, maybe the other ones do too, so this is a very nice sort of personalized selection from Jen, so I'm very excited to get to those. I think a poetry video is in the future. Then I went to the launch party for a book. It is An Absolutely Remarkable Thing by Hank Green. Now you might know that I'm a massive Vlogbrothers fan. Their channel is one of the reasons that I started making videos myself. Obviously John has quite a few books out, so I was very excited to hear that Hank has one out as well. It's basically about a girl who finds this like big robot statue in the middle of New York. She posts a video of it and it goes viral, and I think it's mostly about internet fame and how to deal with that and the negative side of it as well. Then there's a book that I've actually just finished reading, but I had a proof copy that is now entirely battered. It looks like this. And I'm working on the campaign with the publisher and doing some stuff on Instagram, and it is the Boneless Mercies. So they sent me a finished copy and I wanted to show that off as well. So this is about these 5 characters. They are Boneless Mercies, so they call them mercy killings. So they go around, and when there are people that are sick and old, and it's kind of a medieval slash like Scandinavian Viking setting in a world that's not quite our own. They basically take money in return for killing people, but they have decided that that's not quite the life they want for themselves, so they go in search of a different adventure, and that's all I'm gonna say for now. But I really enjoyed this one. These 2 books are ones that have been on my wish list on GoodReads for forever. I have a little wish list so that when I go into a bookshop I can have a quick look, and the author actually got in touch because she saw that I wanted to read them and asked if she could send them my way, and it is The Seafarer's Kiss and The Navigator's Touch. Trying to figure out which one was the first one. The Seafarer's Kiss is the first one, and then The Navigator's Touch is the second one. Inspired by Norse mythology, this one mentions Loki. It was really funny. This also talks about jarls, which are kind of like, I guess, Scandinavian lords, which is a word that's mentioned a lot in this one as well. So I think we're gonna have some similar settings. Constantly I'm looking for more medieval stuff that isn't like high fantasy. So it's just like a kind of medievalish setting, which I'm super into. So if you have more recommendations like that, let me know. I think I came across these books on some like LGBTQ recommended reads lists as well. And on the back of the book it also includes that the author is polyamorous and bisexual, and I think that or at least some parts of that come back in the book as well. And the main characters in the first one are a mermaid and a shield maiden. Next up, it is absolutely gorgeous. This is sent to me by Anderson Press, and it is called Mary and Frankenstein. I love all things gothic. I love Frankenstein, so I love seeing a reinterpretation of a favorite, or I don't even know if it's a reinterpretation, but we've got the cast of characters. It's basically a picture book. Pretty sure it's by the same creators as The Lists, which was a picture book that I showed maybe last year. The style of it is really gorgeous, so I'm curious to see how this kind of blends, I'm guessing, the life of the author and the story of the book Frankenstein. It also came with this really gorgeous dark print. This is not a book, but it is bookshop day on October 6th. I'm not going to be in the country, but I can obviously still go to a bookshop. But I got sent this lovely tote bag, Books in My Bag by Peter Blake, and then it says read on the other side, and I've been carrying this around everywhere. If you go to a bookshop, I don't know if it's an independent bookshop, a bookshop on October 6th, you can pick one of these up. I will put the actual instructions in the description with more details. Thank you so much to Books Are My Bag for sending me one. I also took it to the Lush showcase, so it really smells like Lush now. Alright, some last lovely things. This is in Dutch, and it's only available in Dutch, but I offered myself up as an intern at this Dutch publisher that I love called Blossom Books while I was in the Netherlands, and I went there for a day. And they gave me a copy of this, and it is called Damn Honey. It's basically a feminist pamphlet. I haven't read it yet. It has extra resources in the back. I might in the future do a video that combines sort of all the books that I've read that are kind of about feminism or empowerment. I know there's a couple more coming out. I already have a few on my shelves, and there's already a few that I've read that might make for an interesting collection. This falls under the, I don't know if this is my cup of tea, but everyone's been raving about it, so I'm gonna give it a go. It is Normal People by Sally Rooney, longlisted for the Man Booker Prize. It is by Faber, so they kindly sent it to me. It says Normal People is a story of mutual fascination, friendship, and love. It's about two women who grew up in the same small town in the west of Ireland and who then meet and something between them happens. I love that it's set in Ireland. My boyfriend's from Ireland, and over the years I've sort of started to learn more about the culture and the country, so that is definitely something I'm extra interested in. And then finally, I'm going to be working with the European Prize for Literature soon. I'm reading some of their previous winners from years. I'll talk more about what the prize is and everything like that in that video. But they sent me this, which is European Stories. Absolutely massive. It's got very nice sprayed edges. This is the 10th anniversary of the European Union Prize for Literature. 36 winning authors from a total of 26 different countries have submitted fascinating European stories. They're all in this, and then they also have the English translations. I have a book that is like similar to this, where it's like different stories and then translated into a different language. I'm guessing this is not really one where you just sit down and read it all in one go, but I'm very intrigued. And then here are two of the books that I'll be reading. There's going to be a bunch more. So this is called Land van Liefde en Ruïnes, and it's originally in Icelandic. This is the Dutch translation, but it's also translated into English. I just decided to make things more complicated. I really love this edition. I just haven't read enough translated fiction, and I think it's like a personal diary by the author, and it's about her going through Icelandic nature and trying to figure out the big questions in life. She's worked with Björk on her music and lyrics. I'm very intrigued, basically. This is The Willow King by Melis Friedenthal, published by Pushkin Press, who do a lot of amazing translated fiction. It is set in Estonia at the end of the 17th century. It's the story of witchcraft, public executions, and dissections when science and the supernatural were intertwined. It's not a surprise that I picked this one, let's be honest. Like I said, a weird collection of stuff, but really, really intriguing reads that I'm excited to share with you. I hope you got some inspiration from this video. I always link all the books in the description, and I mark all the ones that I got from publishers and notes like that. I also recently changed from being a book depository affiliate to being a Hive affiliate, because Hive is a really great website where you can also support independent bookshops whenever you make a purchase. So I was keen to switch from the book depository, which is owned by Amazon, to Hive. If you ever want to buy a book through any of my links, that would be amazing. I think that's everything for now. I hope you enjoyed watching this video, and I'll talk to you later. Doei!